Pleased to be joining me on the program today is Bobcats GM and head coach Nigel Dubé. Now, Nigel, obviously the year of 2022, a lot of positives that you can kind of take away from it with the Bobcats as a whole, being in the playoffs and whatnot, and kind of taking that extra step to move forward into 2023. But just when you kind of, as the year kind of winds down here, when you have a chance to kind of reflect on what a year it was in 2022, what's some of the things that stand out to you?
Yeah, well, I think for us it was really an exciting time. If we go back to the spring and to get back in the playoffs after it was a long 5 years, and to be there and the crowds that we saw in the later part of the season, and when restrictions lifted and we get through a pandemic like that, I thought that was really exciting for a group, and to go into a summer where we saw a lot of positive things. We were back out in the community again. We were hosting events again, and that continued right into the fall with our hockey school. And the first time we've ever had both weeks of our hockey school sold out to the point where we couldn't add another young one there, and then to get right into the season. And I think a big part, and for our guys too, they always feed off the crowd, is there was no restrictions, and we were able to put a lot of people into the facility on day one. And I think that with the spring that we had and the group we had there and the veteran presence coming back, that they were excited to go again. And then we get into the fall and we're able to be out in the schools and to be a part of the community events and host our Evening and Champion and do all those things. I think was super exciting. And now to continue on to look into 2023 and to continue to build on what we've done so far this year, but we're also moving forward with pieces like Teague McAllister that we've have committed for next season, and those things, and how quick things happen, that we're already here and another year is going by us and moving forward, but a lot of great community incentives going on and initiatives, and I think that's a big part of junior hockey here.
One big thing that I kind of wanted to ask you about was the Bobcats hockey school. You were talking about how the 2 weeks were sold out, and that's something that hasn't happened really ever. And it was kind of to the point where you had to make a waiting list and all that stuff. Just knowing that, when all those restrictions were lifted and you guys were kind of going back into a sense of like what seems like normalcy, and seeing the community involvement with so many kids kind of being involved in that hockey school, just what does that kind of mean to you as a GM and a coach who's been so involved in this community for the last 5 to 6 years now?
Yeah, well, I think for us, our junior hockey program is built on community. At the end of the day, that's what it is, and for our guys to be positive role models in the community 12 months, of the year, and I think a lot of it, also was able to see that we have returning players. You look at, Tyson Kowalik, Javen Leslie, Ben Bygrove. Those guys have all been here for 4 years, so they make those connections with the young athletes and the young ones in town that get super excited to see them again, and come out to the hockey school and to be educated by them, and to kind of look up to their superheroes. And I think for our group, that's exciting, and it's exciting when that can be done at hockey school, and both having female and male coaches there. I think that helps out too, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of learning, and we look forward to it every year.
Yeah. Well, another person that you kind of just mentioned there that I want to talk about is Ben Bygrove. Earlier this year, you guys made the decision to name him as captain, and it's something that it seems like from a lot of players that I was speaking to throughout training camp, it's something that he's earned, and it's a lot of votes that he kind of earned from the locker room. Just having the chance to kind of have a leadership group like Ben and Tyson and whatnot heading into the year of 2023, just for you as a coach, how exciting is it to kind of have those kind of leaders kind of leading this team kind of heading into next year?
Yeah, I think, for us as an organization, you look at Ben Bygrove and Javen Leslie, they're two local products that grew up in Lloydminster, came through Lloydminster, and sat in those seats one time in their life and looked up to the heroes on their ice. And now they get to do that, and credit to those guys and the Tysons of the world and the Swannies and those guys that have stuck with us from the early going of the the start of this when we rebuilt it from the bottom up, and now to see them have success, especially the smiles on their face last spring and into the playoffs, and that's the group that's going to lead us in the new year here, and as far as we're going to go, and we got a lot of home games coming up in February, and I think that's exciting, and now it's just up to them to see how far they want to take this.
Well, 8 games to be exact is how many games are going to be going on in the month of February of 2023. But just heading into the year of 2023 alone, just so many exciting things kind of going on with you guys as a group. You know, Buzz the Bobcats, having Teague McAllister kind of commit to you guys for next season. Just when you kind of wrap some of those things up and then seeing that you guys have a lot of action going on into the year of 2023, especially in those first 2 months, just talk to me a little bit about what you're looking forward to most kind of heading into the next year, and just talk a little bit about that.
I think it's awesome to see the Buzz the Bobcats and Javen Leslie started that a team initiative, to raise money for the Health Foundation, and everybody, I guess myself included, will be getting a haircut that night. But it speaks to the volumes of the people that we have in our organization, not only the players that people see on the ice, but just the people that we have and what they want to do for our community and be a part of it. And I think that goes a long way. And at the end of the day, as a general manager and as a fan of these kids, I think that's the coolest part of it all for me, is take a step back from the hockey side of it and just what they want to do for our community and how they, we have a lot of kids from out of town as well, but how they invest into our community and want to make our community better, and I think that's a big part of it.
Well, Nigel, first off, I just want to say thanks again so much for your taking the time to talk with me here. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, Nigel Dubé and the Bobcats, you can check them out on January 7th when they take on the Canmore Eagles here at the Centennial Civic Center.